Welcome back to Zing. I wanted to get back with you. I apologize first of all for not really having been interactive with you this week. Usually I would have been answering your emails as soon as they were posted, but this week I lost my 94-year-old dad, and so I have been back and forth to Bryan several times and spent several nights there helping my mom, taking care of some business, and so I really, although I had computer access, I really just was taking care of other things that you will understand really are more important. So I'm getting back on track, I hope. I just finished reading all of your posts, and I'm delighted to learn that we have a really great group of interns. We have the benefit of having several people who are rearing families. Anastasia brings a fresh perspective to our class, and especially when we get into global marketing in about 3 units, she's really going to be a great benefit to us. So be sure that we remember to tell people anytime we've either lived in another country or had an unusual experience that will help us both. So I'll be answering each one of you individually, but I just wanted you to know why I have not exactly been on top this week. So we now get into the beginning. Once we've gotten to know each other a little better, we get into the bulk of our class. And our first unit is an overview of marketing. One of the things that people think about marketing is that it's simply a advertising and promotions, and that is definitely a tool. But you'll notice over the first, at least especially the first half of the class, you're going to be wondering, wow, am I back in a research class? Am I studying history? This sounds like a lot of psychology to me, because we're going to be looking, if the marketing approach is finding out what customers want and how we can meet their needs, we really have to figure out a way to learn what our customers want. So there is a lot of psychology. We learn a lot about how we make decisions on buying things and getting along, how we, what makes us tick, how we work for the better good. It's a very interesting concept, and it will really help us do a better job at whatever we're doing, and especially in marketing. So this first unit is talking about some various orientations we've had in marketing. One has always been a production, sort of the I make it, you take it. And Henry Ford had that in a way, because he painted all of it. When he had his first cars, they were black. Take it or leave it. But he also had a marketing approach that helped him develop a way to make people want cars. He got them out in the public. He made them affordable. But it's that the production approach is, we don't care what you want. We only care what we can make. If you've ever known a business that continued, a cafe for instance, that continued to sell the same kinds of food over and over again, or shall I say, try to sell the same kinds of food, and failed miserably, you'd know that they weren't thinking, what do customers want now? What can I make that will please them? Not, what do I want to make? The next one is the sales approach. If you've ever bought a car from or anything from a really, really aggressive salesperson, you know what the sales approach is. That theory is, the harder we push and the more aggressive we are, the better our sales will be. And anyone who has bought something knows full well that will not work. They know that doesn't, it's a rare customer for whom aggressive sales do anything but make us mad. The market approach is the one that we really like to concentrate on. It focuses on, what do customers want. Sometimes they don't even know what we want, and we help them find it. But looking at what they want and what would please them, and how can we meet those needs, rather than just doing what we can. For instance, if any of you are members of Netflix, you know that developed several years ago, but you may not know that the reason it developed was because the person who founded Netflix was mad when Blockbusters charged him a $40 charge for a late video. He said there ought to be somebody offering rental videos that you can take and just keep until you are ready to send them back. And that's the premise on which he founded Netflix. He built it in a great group. It became so popular that really Blockbusters is almost out of business. is out of business now because Netflix was there at the right time doing what customers really needed and wanted. Um, when he found the environment changing and having to pay more royalty fees to the movies, he raised his prices. And one of the ways he did was he separated the streaming from the tangible videos that you get DVDs. And if you were in Netflix at that time, you knew that there was a huge backlash. About 30% of his customers dropped the business because they were mad. What they quickly realized is there was nothing else better, and they came back because he still had, even if it was a higher price and more inconvenient, he still had something that had great value to the customer. So in this unit, we're going to be talking about those types of those types of orientations in marketing. We're going to be doing a project in our creative meeting for our owner, Walter Patrick's. His brother and sister-in-law sister and brother-in-law have inherited a business from their parents, and they make the bags that we see now in grocery stores all the time. And they have just encountered a real problem. They made 500,000 bags, and they thought it was a good idea, but they found out they need to do something different. They're stuck with 500,000 black bags. Our job is to help them figure out some way to turn that problem or that challenge around into a profitable business. Should they decorate it? Should they give them away and charge them off as a tax write-off? What should they do? Come up with some solutions, because Mr. Patrick is really eager for his agency to do something to help them and make him look good, of course. We will also be talking about various products that can come around. A product can be a thing, an idea, or a service. And we will be asking you to bounce back and forth things. One of the things that came out several years ago and really hit children with like a storm was silly bands. They're pretty passé now, but I don't not have a child anymore and no grandchildren, so it's hard for me to understand what is popular now. You'll see a video on silly bands and how just a $5 purchase could make a child really happy. You who are parents, would you mind sharing if there's a similar product out there that kids really, really love that we can learn more about, just because it would be interesting. So I hope you have a good week. I'll be in touch with each of you personally within the next couple of days, and I appreciate your patience during this time. I thank you for your participation, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.